Greetings, fellow hunters. Warlock of Supernatural Season 5 now continues on with Hammer of the Gods. In Muncie, Indianapolis, or Indiana, I guess, I'm not really sure what, no, I don't think I would see the abbreviations, but anyway, a police car pulls up to the abandoned and decrepit Elysian Fields Hotel. As the policeman enters the hotel, the beam from his flashlight cuts through the darkness. He hears a loud sound and calls out, but gets no answer. As he explores, he nears a flower pot of long-dead crocus which slowly come back to life and into full bloom after he passes them. When he turns to inspect a shattered mirror that seems to be repairing itself, he is startled by the sudden appearance of a man in a red tuxedo standing directly in front of him. Policeman tells the tuxedo man he can't be here, but the man begs to differ. He has to get everything ready because they're coming, all of them, and adds, "We've each got our part to play, even you." Then says the confused policeman with a smile, "Your dinner." The man grabs the screaming policeman away by the collar, and a splash of blood hits the mirror. By the time Sam and Dane pull into Elysian Fields Hotel during a driving rainstorm, it has been fully restored. They can't believe they're like finding a swanky hotel in the middle of nowhere. The red tuxedo man, Chet, according to his name tag, is behind the front desk. As he checks the boys into the hotel, he remarks about the shaving knife that has appeared on Dean's neck, and he produces a tissue to blot the blood. Dean is puzzled, but accepts the tissue. Dean inquires if the hotel has a coffee shop, and Chet elegantly gestures with his right hand and replies, "Buffet, all you can eat, best pie in the tri-state area." In fact, the buffet is talking what seems to be every pie Dean might imagine. A man at the buffet grins, saying to Dean, "Heaven, right? It's better," Dean declares. Dean takes a slice of pie, and on the way to his seat pauses at the table of a beautiful dark-skinned woman in a red dress, stirring a pink martini with a swizzle stick. "How you doing?" he says, and she cuts him off without even looking up. "No." Dean tries again, and is shut down with the quiet "no." He eventually gives up and joins Sam at the table, waiting to enjoy his pie. He knows Sam's tension and implores him to loosen up, but to let him eat something, but Sam is anxious to get back on the road. He waits out the storm outside his Noah's Ark biblical in its force, either relaxing and eating pie. Dean advises Sam to calm down, pointing out that they have chased down every lead in 12 states and reminding that Bobby is monitoring Lucifer's activities in every way possible. They will find a way to beat the devil and find Adam and Cass, but Sam was no good to him burned out. They should enjoy a night off for once. Behind them, a waitress rushes off into the kitchen where the chef is preparing a dish near a bloody severed arm on a cutting board. The boys head to their room and can't help but notice a couple groping each other against the door of the next room. Upon entering the room, Dee is really impressed by the little touches. Joggers on pills, constant erotica on demand. But Sam's suspicion wonders aloud why there is a 4-star hotel located on a no-star highway. Near giggles and squeals from next door, initially assume it's the amorous couple, but suddenly something slams against the wall, hard enough to dislodge bricks in Sam and Dean's room. The Rorschachs are investigating to find the bedclothes are messed up, but no one is there. They find a diamond solitaire ring lying on the shag rug. They go to the front desk to inquire about the couple. Chet informs them that the honeymooning Logans have checked out just now. Not only is it weird that they've checked out in the middle of their honeymoon activities, she also points out they left behind a diamond ring. Just as it takes ring from Dean, assuring him to go into lost and found, not to worry. He tries the boys to think anything else, but they say no. He sends them off with super fantastic. Much to Dean's disappointment, a missing couple plus a creepy desk clerk means they have a case. One enough, Dean gripes. Is that too much to ask? Sam agrees to mutter Norman Bates, and Dean takes to the halls to investigate. When Chet leaves the desk, Sam follows him down a hallway, but stops when he disappears around a dead-end corner. Sam winces, then notices he's bleeding from a small cut on his neck. Dean is in the hallway, scanning with his EMF meter. He passes the open door of a room where an elephant is flinging a towel. Focused on the meter, Dean takes a step or two where he processes what appeared in his peripheral vision as he passed the open room. Backs up a couple steps and encounters a heavy-set black man wrapping a towel around his middle. "This ain't no peep show," the man yells as he slams the door shut. Elsewhere in the hotel, a handsome man puts a necklace around the beautiful dark-skinned woman's neck and tells her how beautiful she is, and she tells him he's sweet. He kisses her neck and puts his hands on her wrist. "I hate sweet," she says coldly. Chet interrupts to report the final guests have arrived. The pantry is full, and the Winchesters are suspicious, but under control. Everything is ready. The masked shed, if he has their blood, of course he says, in the blink of an eye, zips across the room to present the woman with 2 vials. I'm quick, he says with a smile. Boys never knew what hit him. Thank you, Mercury, she coos. The handsome man says it's time to get the show on the road. Somebody rendezvous in the lobby and trade their strange stories, but go silently notice the previously bustling lobby is empty and the doors are locked. Sam begins to think about how they got there. A detour off the highway, then the freak hurricane. There is their legend motel, like rats in a maze, Sam says. The boys at the kitchen only find it empty as well. About a red liquid boils in the stove. Please be tomato soup, Dean says. He drizzles into liquid and pulls up eyeballs. Sam eyes the walk-in cooler creeps up to its window, only to be startled by a frantic hand that starts banging on it. People at the freezer scream to be let out. Sam fumbles as he pulls out his lock-picking kit. Dean tells him to hurry up, but it's too late. Sam freezes and stares past Dean's head. There's no behind me, isn't there? Dean whispers nervously. Behind Dean are a heavy Asian man and a black gentleman. They grab the Winchesters and forcibly transfer them into the grand ballroom where the beautiful woman and her consort wait. Enter the man from the room where Dean thought he saw the elephant, an old man and several others, all wearing name tags. The elephant man is Ganesh, Hindu deity. The old white-bearded man is Odin, god of Norse mythology. The beautiful dark-skinned woman is Kali the Destroyer. The black gentleman who grabbed them in the kitchen is Baron Samedi, noted spirit of Haitian voodoo and Louisiana voodoo. All of them hail from non-Christian pantheons and traditions. Someone tells me this isn't a Shriner convention, says Dean. Mercury enters with a rolling cart upon which there is a covered platter. Dinner is served, he says, covering the platter to reveal the severed head of the policeman, showing what appears to be at least some parts of the rest of his body. The ghosts and spirits applaud, and spotlight shines down on Dean and Sam. Clay's concert Baldur announces, Our guests of honor have arrived. They meet Sam and Dean in front of the group, all of whom now sit at a long banquet table. Baldur calls the meeting to order, and says he never thought he'd see this day, with so many gods under one roof. Baldur must lay down a few ground rules, however. No starting each other, easy on the wrath, and try to leave the local virgins alone. They're trying to keep a low profile. The boys are completely shocked and dismayed to learn they are being detained by gods. Oh, we are so screwed, Sam whispers. We don't know why we're here, Baldur continues. The Judeo-Christian apocalypse looms over us. I know we've had our disagreements in the past. The time's going to put those aside and look toward the future, because if we don't, we won't have one. And then points to Dean and Sam and describes the Winchesters as valuable bargaining chips, Michael and Lucifer's vessels. Baldur asks the assembled deities what they want to do with the Winchesters. Zhao Shen stands up and makes a forceful declaration in Cantonese. Kill them. What, so the angels can bring them back again? Ganesh retorts. Odin laughs at Zhao Shen's idea, which offends him. Attention in the room shifts from Odin and Zhao Shen as they argue about their respective worldviews. The Winchesters attempt to use the diversion to sneak out of the room, but a chandelier crashes to the ground in front of them, blocking their way. Stay, Kali orders coldly, and they comply. Returning to the subject at hand, she insists the deities must fight, because the only thing the archangels understand is violence, so end in blood. It's them or us, she declares. Mercury politely suggests they haven't even tried talking to the angels. Kali turns her cold gaze on him, and really begins to choke on blood. Baldur stops Kali from killing Mercury outright. Just then the ballroom doors fly open, and the Archangel Gabriel Coverfree struts in. Gabriel shouts, Can't we all just get along? To the surprised attendees. With a flick of his wrist, Gabriel signs Dean just as he tries to speak his name. Sam, Dean, it's always wrong place, worst time with you munheads, huh? Gabriel says. Baldur is not pleased to see him. I must know why he's here. I must know why he's there, addressing him as Loki. Gabriel says even though he didn't get an invitation, he's there to talk about the elephant in the room. Ganesh alien starts to rise, but Gabriel quickly defuses by saying it's not referring to him, but to the apocalypse. America tells everyone, we can't stop the gang, but, first things first, Gabriel turns to Sam and Dean and tells them the adults need to have a private conversation. He snaps his fingers to Sam and Dean are teleported elsewhere in the hotel. Stunned, the boys try to grasp the current predicament and figure out their next move. Dean suggests they free the people from the freezer and maybe gank a few freaks along the way if they're lucky. Gabriel Pearson tries to discourage that plan. Dean blames Gabriel for them being held captive, commenting that this scenario has your sting all over it. But Gabriel says he had nothing to do with it. I'm the concentrator Houston, he declares. I'm going to save your ass. It points out the deities were either going to kill him or use him as bait. Either way, Gabriel says, you're uber boned. Dupa said the very reason Gabriel was the one doing the uber boning, by trying to force them to play our roles. Oh, Gabriel says, Lucifer and Michael will use Sam and Dean as their respective vessels and fight each other, but not tonight, not here. Dino saw how Gabriel wouldn't even care, and at first he insists he doesn't. The study might see and Cully have a history. Shook his old hands, he jokes. What can I say? I'm sentimental. Sam sees a glimmer of hope in the situation. He asks Gabriel if the deities could possibly conquer Lucifer, and Gabriel scoffs. Dean also rejects the suggestion, but Sam probably asks if he has a better idea. Gabriel clears it's a bad idea. Lucifer turned the deities into finger paint, so suppose they just get going while the getting's good. Dean asks why Gabriel doesn't just teleport them out of there. Gabriel says the campus Callie has tethered them with a blood spell, thanks to Mercury collecting their blood. Gabriel says after spreads of breath freshener, he was working some black magic of his own. Dean asks Gabriel also see the captives in the freezer, but Gabriel refuses. So it'd be hard to sneak the two of them out. Then they realizes something. The deities think he's Loki. That means they don't really know who he is. They don't know who he really is. Dean repeats his demand, and if Gabriel doesn't agree to help save the guests, he and Sam reveal his secret identity to the Legion of Doom. And they're clearly not a pro-angel crowd. Dean successfully counters his threats to make them physically unable to do so, and he grudgingly agrees. Kelly's sister being in a room when sudden lights go out, and a sumptuous candlelight dinner appears. Gabriel stands by with a rose, and Kelly greets him with, leave. But Loki will be easily dismissed, even though Callie has moved on with Baldur. It's so that Callie actually called him to the meeting, believing he'll take the situation seriously. Gabriel proposes the end is coming, they should just leave. Screw this, Marble. Let's go check out Pandora, he suggests. Callie insists they can fight. Gabriel breaks it to her. If they do, they'll be toast. He begs her not to go through with her plan, but she says she has to. Can't blame me for trying, Gabriel says. Still love me, he asks. Cully answers no. They pulls him in roughly for a kiss. Downstairs, Sam and Dean are making their way to the kitchen but are forced to hide when Zhao Shen and the other gods sacrifice a man from the buffet up on the hotel's front desk using a meat cleaver. They don't make it to the kitchen, but Sam is trying to pick the lock on the freezer door. Zhao Shen grabs Dean from behind and throws him across the kitchen. He lifts Sam and starts to strangle him with one hand. Dean maneuvers behind Zhao Shen and runs him through with a wood beam. Unwinded, Dean wants to know where Gabriel is. In Cully's room, Loki hopes his kiss is enough to distract Cully as he reaches for the vials of Sam's and Dean's blood on the table behind her. Cully cuts him on the neck and pushes him away. You must take me for a fool, Gabriel, she hisses. She holds up her hand, which now has his blood on it. You're bound to me, she tells him, now and forever. Sam and Dean are first to be brought back to the main ballroom, where Gabriel sits at Cully's side. She announces to the room, the trickster has tricked them. Gabriel pleads with her, but she sits on his lap and reminds him that he belongs to her, and he has something she wants. She slowly moves her hand to his chest. As her ripping his heart, she reveals an archangel blade from the archangel Gabriel. Gabriel admits to the group he's an angel, but insists he's not a spy, but a runaway really trying to save them all. Kelly refuses to believe him. I know my brother, Callie, he implores. He's just scaring the crap out of you. You can't beat him. Gives us a glimpse of the future and has seen how this story ends. Your story, not ours. Callie tells him, Westeros, I swear, it's your arrogance. You think you're the only ones on Earth? You pillage and you butcher in your God's name, but you're not the only religion, and he's not the only God. Now you think you could just rip this planet apart? You're wrong. There are billions of us, and we were here first. If we don't get to end the world, it's me. She tells Gabriel she's sorry, and then plunges the angel blade into his chest. Gabriel screams as his inner light glows for a moment, then he's gone. Kelly says this proves they can kill Lucifer. With that, Dean shrieks off of what just occurred and decides to speak up. Alright, you primitive screwids, listen up, he says, standing up and infecting the swagger of a massive options. Now, on another given day, I'd be doing my damnedest to kill you filthy murdering chimps. But, hey, just for times. So I love nothing better than slit your throats, you dicks. I'm going to help you. I'm going to ice the devil. He pauses to pour himself a glass of liquid courage. Then we can all get back to ganking each other like normal. Sam's face reveals he's extremely comfortable. He's extremely comfortable with Dean's delivery, if not his plan. He tells them if they want Lucifer, he and Sam can get him to come here. But they'll only help if they let the other guests go. So they can take out Lucifer together, Dean says. Or you lamest bitches can eat me. Literally. The hotel's front doors fly open and the people liberated from the freezer come running out, screaming bloody murder. They jump in the cars and peel out. After Dean makes sure they're all gone, here's someone called to him from the backseat of the Impala. It's Gabriel. You think I'd give Callie my real sword? That thing could kill me. He tells Dean he made the fake blade out of a can of dyed orange slice. He tells Dean he heard what he said to the gods. Callie obviously likes him, so he can get close enough to her and grab their blood so they can all get out. Dean rejects his plan and demands that he hand over the real blade. Better yet, he says, why doesn't Gabriel just sack him and help them kill Lucifer? Gabriel is shocked and wants to know why Dean is so willing to team up with a bunch of monsters, which is what he would normally consider them. Dean knows it sounds nuts, but Sam's right. It's the best idea they've got, unless Gabriel has a better one. Gabriel says, well, go with that, but he's blowing Jonestown. It's their business they want to run off a cliff like lemmings. Dean, however, says he sees right through Gabriel's smartass I could give a crap thing, because it takes one to know one. Even though the deity stabbed Gabriel through the heart, they're still family to him, and he does give a crap about them. They're going to die with his help. I can't kill my brother, Gabriel finally declares. Can't or won't, Dean asks, and gets no response. That's what I thought, says Dean. He exits the Impala, leaving Gabriel alone with his thoughts. Back in the ballroom, Sam nervously explains to Cully and Baldur that in order to fulfill his end of the deal and summon Lucifer, they need to squeegee the sigils from his ribs. Breaking them will be easier, she asserts. But she wondered when Dean comes out and rats out Gabrielle. The sword was a fake and he is still alive. Hate to break it to you, sister, but you've been tricked, he tells Callie. She is reasonably shocked. In the lobby, Mercury is summoned by the front desk bell. She turns around to see Lucifer inside his deteriorating vessel. Checking in, he says. Lucifer tells Mercury he was right to call him. Mercury explains he did so because the talk amongst the deities was getting insane. You know, Lucifer tells him, I never said you pagans. You're such petty little things. Always fighting. Always having to sell your own kid. Who forfeited this planet to us? Mercury's smile fades. Lucifer considers them to be worse than humans or demons, and yet they claim to be gods. He sits to one side and twists his finger, snapping Mercury's neck. And they call me prideful, he sneers. Inside the ballroom, the lights begin to flicker. Elena, Baldur, and Kali something strong just before they hear screaming. Out in the hallway, Odo wails at Lucifer's feet as he crushes him. Ganesh charges Lucifer, and with the wave of his hand, the devil turns the elephant god into a stain on the wall. He does the same to Baron Samedi. It's him, Sam says nervously. Dean makes the deeds to zap them away, and Baldur says they can't. Lucifer is stopping them, and now he's in the room. Baldur moves to confront Lucifer, and asks what gives this kind the right to take over the planet. Lucifer replies by punching through Baldur's torso. No one gives us the right, he says calmly. We take it. He withdraws his blade arm from Baldur, collapses dead on the floor. Kelly's arms become pillars of flame as she casts fire directly at Lucifer. As the Winchester knife covers the room engulfed, but Lucifer emerges unscathed. She steps up to punch him with flaming fists, but he sends her flying with an uppercut. Gabriel suddenly appears and hands him a copy of Casa Erotica 13, to him to guard it with his life. He steps in just as Lucifer is about to grind Kali underfoot and throws his brother away from her and out of the room. Lucy, I'm home, Gabriel announces, grinding Kali with his angelic blade. He instructs Dean and Sam and Kali to get out of the room and holds off Lucifer. Can't believe his brother would betray him over a girl. I knew we were slumming, but I hope we didn't catch anything. Lucifer, Gabriel tells him, you're my brother and I love you, but you are a great big bag of dicks. Lucifer is offended. Gabriel continues to taunt him, saying he can play the victim all he wants. But the truth is that God loved Lucifer best and everyone knew it. But then, Jeff brought the new baby home, and Lucifer couldn't handle it, so decided he would smash all his toys. And all this is just because it's just a great big temper tantrum, Gabriel says. Time to grow up. Meanwhile, Sam hustled Collie into the Impala. They drive off as quickly as possible. Lucifer thinks Gabriel's acting this way on Michael's behalf, but Gabriel informs him that Michael were there, he would shiv his ass too. Lucifer angrily accuses him of being disloyal. Gabriel declares he is loyal, only not to him or to the pagan deities, but to people. Lucifer asks why Gabriel is willing to die for a pile of cockroaches. Gabriel answers, because Dad was right, they are better than us. Lucifer insists, they are broken, flawed abortions. Gabriel agrees people are flawed, but feels a lot of them try to do better, to forgive. It tells Lucifer he's been riding the pine for a long time, and now he's not on Lucifer's side or on Michael's. I'm on theirs. Lucifer begs him not to make him do this, but Gabriel points out that nobody makes him do anything. I think you're doing the right thing, Gabriel, Lucifer says. As the real Gabriel steps up behind Lucifer, I know where your heart truly lies. Lucifer slowly turns around and catches Gabriel's raised blade, redirecting it to make Gabriel stab himself. Here, Lucifer hisses, as the illusion of Gabriel dissipates. Amateur hocus pocus, Lucifer whispers, reminding him, you learned all your tricks from me, little brother. Lucifer twists the blade, and Gabriel screams and glows, for real this time. Lucifer becomes tearful as he stares down at Gabriel, his wings burned into the floor. As gloom appears next, informing all the performers in the following film are of legal age. Casa Erotica 13 opens on a blonde woman in underwear and lucite heels. Her dear diary voices Lucifer reads how super fun it is to be a high-powered executive, but sometimes she just needs her legs with Casa Erotica. There's a knock at her door. It's room service. The boys are watching this on their laptop. Sam can't believe Gabriel asked Dean to guard this with his life. Dean shrugs. It's a good one, he says. The room service waiter appears. Gabriel wearing a cheap costume and a mustache. He enters with a special delivery of Hungarian sausages and starts making out with the girl. But then he turns to look at the camera. He says if they're watching this, he's dead. And they have zero chance of killing Lucifer without him. But, Gabriel informs, the cage to free Lucifer from is still there. If they play their cards right, they might be able to shove him back into it. The warden said it won't be easy, however. First, you have to get the cage open, then trick Lucifer back into it, all while voting Michael in the God Squad. He then drops a bit of knowledge on them, not even Lucifer is aware of. The key to the cage is out there. Actually, it's 4 keys, or more precisely, 4 rings, one from each of the 4 horsemen. You've got them all, you've got the cage. Can't say I'm betting on you boys, he adds, but I've been wrong before. Gabriel finishes by telling Dean he was right. He was afraid to stand up to his brother before, so this is me, standing up, he says as the porn star eases up behind him, and this is me, lying down, and it gets naughty, and Sam closes the computer. Jeremiah said they already have war's ring and famines. All they need are the rings of pestilence and death. Oh, is that all? Sam says dourly. It's the plan, says Dean. They get in the car and head off. Elsewhere, a bad little old hatchback pulls up to a general store. Inside, the clerk is reading a story about a flu epidemic spreading and a fly spirals in, landing on the paper. He moves to swat it, but is interrupted by a sickly-looking man who comes in sneezing, spewing saliva all over the place. He runs his hands all over the products on the shelves, leaving a trail of slime. As the more flies storm the clerk, the man picks up a box of flu medication and asks if the meds will make him sleepy, saying he's a lot of driving to do. The clerk says no, the original ones are okay for daytime. The man approaches the counter coughing, sneezing, and finding spewing slime directly onto the clerk's face and eyeglasses. As he walks out of the store, he stops coughing, starts smiling, and tosses the box away. As he gets into his car, his ring and Nevada license plate come into view. The plate reads SIKN apostrophe or star TRD. Oh boy. So I'm guessing that's pestilence, so yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at some continuity from this episode. Dean mentions Adam, who was last seen in Point of No Return. He references Gabriel's attempts to get them to give Michael and Lucifer, which took place in Changing Channels. It would turn an unfinished business that Odin's son Loki, when original Gabriel, who faked his death for his father's death. The rings of two of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse are revealed to be in the Winchester's possession. As Gabriel told Sam and Dean in Changing Channels, he was to get to heaven and got a face transplant, but Lucifer saw through the trick. Tied from his brothers, but Lucifer saw through the trick. And now let's take a look at some trivia from this episode. The CW's official summary for this episode misspells Baldur as Blador. There was also an unnecessary comma in between Spade and Junior. And Jay Buckley and Travis Wester are uncredited in this episode. This episode marks the first appearance of Matt Frewer as Pestilence. 12 guests are present at the formal gathering, including Sam and Dean, making Loki the 13th to show up when he crashes the party. This corresponds to a story from Norse mythology centering around a feast in which a trickster was uninvited and in which Baldur was killed. The title is a reference to Thor, who is mostly associated with the hammer. The hammer in question does not make an appearance until season 8. To date, this episode has shown the most pagan deities, so death of deities in one episode. The Castle Erotica series has been referenced in the show before. In the Monster at the end of this book, you just have to watch some porn, specifically suggesting Castle Erotica on pay-per-view, as a way to pass the time instead of doing research. It should be known that Hammer of the Gods did not air in India. During this episode, the Ghostfaces appear in a commercial for their show, replete with an appropriately cheesy theme song. Episodes of Ghostfacers can be found on YouTube. Gabriel started to take the Winchester's voices away so like a reference to biblical scripture. The archangel cursed Zacharias with muteness for disbelieving his message, which ironically would be punishing them for telling the truth. And now finally, let's take a look at some cultural references. Gabriel says to Cully that they should leave the Earth and check out Pandora. This refers to James Cameron's movie Avatar, which is set on a planet called Pandora. It can also be a reference to the Greek mythology of Pandora's box. At one point, Dean says the phrase, "Already primitive screwheads, listen up." This is a quote from the third movie in the Evil Dead series, Army of Darkness. Cully's saying to Gabriel, "If anyone gets to end the world, it's me." It's a reference to her mythological counterpart who is the goddess of destruction. She was also responsible for annihilating Asuras, the Hindu demonic counterpart in Hindu mythology, which will explain her presence in this episode. At one point, Ganesh is shown turning into an elephant. Its mythological counterpart had a head of an elephant. He's also known as the remover of obstacles, who explained why he joined Kali during the meeting of deities. The name of the hotel, Elysian Fields, is a reference to part of the Greek version of an afterlife or underworld where the souls of heroes would rest. Dean, like Fulan Babar, referencing the title character of a series of children's books written by Jane de Brunhoff. Babar travels out into the world, becomes educated, and returns to create a kingdom of civilized elephants. This book was also brought up in a previous episode, Sam Interrupted. I'm the Costner to your Houston, referencing the 1992 movie The Bodyguard starring Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. Frank Farmer is hired to protect a music supervisor, Rachel Marin, music superstar, Rachel Marin, who was the stalker's target. You keep an eye on Norman Bates here. Referring to the Hitchcock's 1960 film Psycho, based on Robert Bloch's novel of the same name, Norman Bates was the killer played by Anthony Perkins. It spawned 3 sequels and a 2012 modern-day reboot prequel series called The Bates Motel. This is the second time this movie has been referenced. The first was season 3 Ghostfacers. Lucy, I'm home. You ever seen the classic TV show I Love Lucy, where Ricky Ricardo always announced his arrival at home in the same way? Or we tell the Legion of Doom about your secret identity. You ever seen the Legion of Doom, the supervillain organization that first appeared in Challenge of the Super Friends? Legion featured 13 members, Lex Luthor, the Riddler, and 11 others. You should see the Spearmint Rhino. Referencing the world's largest franchise of Gentlemen's Club, and repeated by many to be the best in the world. Motel Hell. Representing the 1980 movie starring Rory Calhoun as Farmer Vincent, who together with his young sister Ida runs the Motel Hello. Let's just cover the real business, which is abducting unsuspecting passerby, finding them on the ground, severing their vocal cords, and eventually slaughtering them as ingredients for their famous smoked meats. You didn't say, Mother, may I? Representing the children's game of the same name, where the players of the game have to ask the mother for permission to move in a certain way. So I think this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, I can't say I'm upset about what happened to Gabriel, but about that, I guess, so yeah. So overall, I give Hammer of the Gods 4 Impalas out of 5. When I tune in a bit, so until next episode of the day, The Devil You Know. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.